This old-time radio program was originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity. As a result, you may detect an occasional surface noise or volume drop due to transmission problems so common to old radio. We hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to this, one of the all-time favorite shows.
Well, good evening and happy Halloween. My name is Bill Oliver, and welcome to a special Halloween presentation of Music 104. You know, long before television, people were entertained by what was called the theater of the mind, radio. Families would gather in front of their radios, it would often be big battery-powered radios, and listen to their favorite weekly shows like we watch television today. Now, some of those shows included Fibber McGee and Molly, The Shadow, Lum and Abner, Jack Benny, Burns and Allen, The Lone Ranger. Well, the list just went on and on and on. Now, back then, you used your imagination to create the sets and the characters' appearance. Well, tonight, we take you back to those golden days of radio. You will sort of. In the old days, there were comedies, mysteries, and westerns. But tonight, well, we're presenting a comedy mystery. Now, to cover the bases, we've even thrown in some missing cattle. Our show is called Who Killed the Sound Effects Man? And it stars a cast made up completely of local people you know. Now, if you picked up one of the cast of character forms from our sponsors, then listen carefully. As each character appears tonight, write down the name of the local person you think is playing that part. Then, get your list to the WNOI studios before noon Monday. The person with the list of the most correct names will win $20 from Music 104. Our show is brought to you tonight by the Flora Save-A-Lot Food Store, the Fashion Hanger, Big John Superstore, Trevor's Place in Clay City, Etchison Appliance, Heels Jewelry, the Hallmark Boutique, and Joetta's Pet Boutique. And now, sit back and enjoy the Clay County radio players as we solve the mystery of who killed the Sound Effects Man.
Look, miss, I'm in trouble. I really need to see Mr. St. Bernard.
Well, before you see Mr. St. Bernard, sir, there are some forms to fill out.
Oh.
Now then, your name?
Felix? Passenger.
Thanks. Mr. St. Bernard will see you now.
I'm Rick St. Bernard, confidential investigator. I was sitting in my cheesy office watching the rain pour down. The storm just started, and I was thinking how I should go out and put the top up on my mash. Then I remembered I couldn't, because I'd locked the keys inside. Just then, the phone started ringing, which disturbed my reverie. My secretary and part-time girlfriend, Bodacious, picks up the phone and says,
Rick St. Bernard, private investigator.
Yeah, let me talk to Rick.
Just a moment, please.
It's your nickel.
You're really Rick St. Bernard?
Yeah.
For sure?
Well, hold on. Let me check.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rick. Happy birthday to... Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, this is a pain in sight finance company. Usually 11 months behind on the payments on your office furniture.
Well, listen, Lug, times have been tough. Can you carry me a little longer?
Listen, we've already carried you longer than your mother did. You've got 2 days to pay up.
I've always heard it was the darkest before the dawn.
Excuse me, sir, but this man is waiting to see you. Here's his form.
So, you're Felix Passenger.
Yes, and I'm in trouble. I need a private investigator.
Well, you better sit down, kid. You look pretty shook up.
I'm miserable. I feel so low, I could just kill myself.
Well, in that case, kid, I'd kind of like the money up front.
You've got to help me. You've got to find out who killed the Sound Effects Man.
Are your old appliances making weird sound effects? Maybe it's because it's Halloween.
Or maybe it's just age. It's time to see Joe at Etchison Appliance downtown about replacing those old relics. At Etchison's, you'll find Frigidaire appliances that sound like this. Their quiet operation is a joy to behold, not to mention the quality put into each one. Replace those old, noisy appliances with new, quiet Frigidaire home appliances from Etchison Appliance downtown. It's chilly weather, and Save-A-Lot has all the chili makings. Brooks chili beans, just $1.29 a can. Wildwood tomato juice, only 69 cents. Save-A-Lot Ralston saltine crackers for 49 cents. Panner creamy or crunchy peanut butter, $1.49. Save-A-Lot has skinless smoked sausage for $3.99. Hot dog buns for $79. Instant hot cocoa mix, 89 cents, or sugar-free for $1.09. Don't spend a lot, save a lot. At your Flora Save-A-Lot food store. The parade has been held over. The Fashion Hangers Parade of Savings sale has been extended until Saturday. That means you can still march in and save 20% off all regular price merchandise until this Saturday. Layaway for Christmas and still save 20%. And here's more big news. The Fashion Hanger will be open Monday nights till 8 beginning this Monday, giving you more convenient time to shop. Hurry while the Parade of Savings is still on. 20% off all regular price merchandise through Saturday at the Fashion Hanger downtown.
Now, back to Who Killed the Sound Effects Man?
Okay. What's the trouble, kid? Tell me your story.
The police claim I killed my boss.
Well, why should they say something like that?
My boss is the head sound effects man for the radio network show, The Frontier Chiropractor.
No kidding.
He was killed during the rehearsal of today's show.
Wow.
15 minutes after we've had this big argument.
Well, what'd you argue about, kid?
I invented a new technique to make the sound of storms.
Gee.
But Mr. Saltmarsh took all the credit for it.
No.
Yes. Well, I got pretty mad, and I threatened his life.
So, how did your boss croak?
During the rehearsal, he was doing the sound of spines being adjusted, and I was the sound of the gunfight after the hero presents the bill.
Yeah.
The moment I fired the last blank, Mr. Saltmarsh fell over dead.
Boy, was I lucky Mr. Saltmarsh got shot. Now I could make the payments on my office furniture to the finance company. I knew I was going to need help getting the money, and it looked like Felix Passenger was my pigeon. I got a list of names of everyone associated with the radio network and the show, including the owner of the network, wealthy Texas entrepreneur Garth Uall. It seems Mr. Uall had it in for Silas Saltmarsh ever since he broke up with Uall's daughter. I jumped in my Nash. The cool rainwater in the driver's seat was very soothing. I headed to the local Uall estate just on the edge of town. It was a large cattle ranch known as the Triple A. I went up and rang the doorbell, and I'm Rick St. Bernard, private investigator.
I'm Barf, butler, sir.
Is Uall home?
We all sure is.
No, I mean Mr. Uall, your boss.
Oh, yes, sir. Come in and have a seat. Mr. Uall is having a meeting with his ranch foreman, Ashley Cinders, in the next room. They shan't be long, sir.
Thank you, Biff.
Barf, sir.
No need for that. I feel fine. Being the private investigator I am, I put my ear against the wall as soon as the butler left the room. I had to hear what was being said. It could be a clue to find out who killed the sound effects man.
Sir, your faithful foreman, Mr. Cinders, is here to see you.
Mr. Uall, I got to talk to you.
My door is always open, Ashley.
It is. It was closed when I walked in.
What he meant, sir, is that your Master Uall's portal was always open in the figurative sense, meaning that he is amenable to receiving you in his presence without the usual preamble of making an appointment.
He said that his door is always open, but when I got to it, it was closed. Now, how can his door always be open when it's closed? A door ain't open if it's shut.
Barf, why is it I get the feeling I'm not dealing with Werner von Braun?
Sir, I will leave you two alone to discuss.
Thanks, Biff.
Barf,
And close the door when you leave.
But you said your door is always open.
Yeah, Ashley, don't start up with that door dung again. Now, what is it?
Well, I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. U-All. What's this here bottle for?
Well, the butler said you were coming over right from the corral.
Yes, sir, I did. Well, what's that got to do with this here bottle?
Yeah, he took the liberty to set out the airwick.
Oh, very good. Longhorns are handsome animals, but they don't smell like Old Spice, do they, sir?
Get on with it, Ashley. What do you want to see me about?
Well, sir, we've got a little problem around the ranch.
Well, speak up, man. What's the problem?
Some of the cows are missing.
Oh, that don't sound like a problem.
30,000 head, sir.
Now, that sounds like a problem. You know who's taking these cows?
Oh, yes, sir. I know exactly who's taking them.
Great. Who's doing it?
Well, sir, just between you and me, Mr. U-All.
Yes?
I think it's rustlers.
You know, Ashley, you got quite a flair for the obvious. Wow. 30,000 head of prime beef stock gone?
Yes, sir. That's enough to keep Wendy's hot and juicy for years.
How long did it take those thieves to steal 30,000 head of cattle?
Just overnight, sir.
Overnight? How can you steal 30,000 head of cattle overnight?
You don't understand, Mr. U-All. I didn't steal them.
I know that, dum-dum. I think all those beans you've been eating on those cattle drives have been going to your head. I mean, how could the rustlers steal 30,000 head overnight?
Well, sir, maybe they boiled them and pumped out the broth.
Right. Or maybe they put funny little red hats on them and disguised them as Shriners. Look, you moo-moo, there's no way to move that many cows that quick. They still have to be on the ranch somewhere.
Well, sir, just in case, should I check out that Shriner angle?
Ooh. Biff?
It's Barf. And you bellowed, sir?
Get me a detective. Someone stole my cows.
There's a private investigator waiting in the parlor, sir.
Gosh, you're fast. Send him in, Biff.
Barf. Mr. St. Bernard, you may go in, sir.
Thanks, Buff.
Barf.
Mr. U-All, I'm Rick St. Bernard, private investigator.
Thank goodness you came. Someone stole my cows, and you gotta find them.
I'm afraid I'm here on a more serious matter, sir, than a few missing cows.
A few? You know how many of my cows are gone?
30,000 head, to be exact.
Gosh, you're good. But if you ain't here to find my beef, why are you here?
I'm here about Silas Saltmarsh.
Don't you ever mention that wimpy weasel's name in this house, you hear? He broke my little girl's heart. I could just kill that dog. They were engaged to be married, and then he turned tail and ran off. My little girl was so much in love with him. Why, I can still remember the day he proposed.
Was it real romantic?
No. He used the standard proposal used by all the men in his family. He looked my daughter in the face and said, "You what?"
Well, then why do you keep him employed as the sound effects man on your radio network?
'Cause he's good, and he works cheap. I didn't get to be this rich by paying people what they're worth. No, sir. Well, what Saltmarsh sent you over here for?
He didn't, Mr. U-All. You see, he's dead.
Dead?
Dead.
Dead.
Dead. And you're a suspect.
Suspect?
Suspect.
Oh, that's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Just a moment ago, you said you wanted to kill him.
Well, he wasn't Father Teresa. Everyone who knew him wanted to kill him for one reason or another.
Who wanted to kill who, dear?
Oh, Deidre, Mr. Beagle. This is my lovely wife, Deidre Bird Bean, you all.
The name's St. Bernard. Not Beagle. Rick St. Bernard. Private investigator.
How do you do?
Is Bean your maiden name?
Why, yes, it is.
You're not by chance related to the rich and famous...
Yes, I am.
So you're one of the Boston Beans. Well, it is nice to meet you, sister. I was just telling your husband about Silas Saltmarsh.
Oh, that masher. That breaker of hearts. I could just kill that bum for what he did to our sweet daughter.
Yes, ma'am. You say you could just kill him?
Nothing would please me more.
Now, honey, you shouldn't say such things.
Why?
You're now a suspect in the Saltmarsh murder caper.
That's why.
Oh, dear.
Well, this is just turning into a real bum of a day. First, Ashley Sanders tells me that someone stole 30,000 head of cattle, and now I'm a murder suspect, and so are you.
Stolen cattle? Did you say stolen cattle?
Yeah, 30,000 head of my darling cows have been stolen.
Oh, Goff, they're not stole. I gave them to the Wilsons to sell at their charity bazaar.
You gave the Wilsons 30,000 head of my prime beef? Why?
Well, dear, you said that we'd donate some stock.
I meant stocks and bonds, you blonde, brainless bimbo.
Well, it seems we've solved the mystery of the missing cows. But who killed the sound effects man?
Hey, come to Trevor's Place. Trevor's is starting something new. Beginning October 25th, it's the Friday night special at Trevor's Place. All-you-can-eat fish, French fries, and coleslaw for just $4.99. Come anytime and enjoy homemade pies and daily specials. And remember, beginning October 25th, it's the Friday night all-you-can-eat special for just $4.99. Trevor's Place, open Monday through Saturday, 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Trevor's Place in Clay City. Big John's means big savings. Right now at your Flora Big John Superstore. Save on 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, just 79 cents. 79 cents, but please limit 3 at this low price. Big John's has the 10-pound bag of russet potatoes for 99 cents. Beef round steak in Big John's meat department, now $1.69 a pound. In Big John's Bakery, save on Angel Food Cakes, just $1.99. Big John's, big savings. Your Flora Big John Superstore on East North Avenue.
And now we return to Who Killed the Sound Effects Man?
I left the AAA ranch and headed back to my office. I was sitting at my desk wondering if Spider-Man eats flies. And then my assistant came in.
Hiya, Bo. Is the boss in?
Sit down, Sluggo. I'll buzz his desk. There doesn't seem to be an answer. I'll try again.
Frankly, I don't know why she does that. After all, we share the same room. So I said, "What have you got for me, Sluggo?"
Well, Mr. St. B, I done some checking on the radio show The Frontier Chiropractor that Mr. Passenger works for.
Yeah?
The big star is Orson Artesian.
Yeah, I know what you mean by big. There's a rumor that his twin brother is Rhode Island.
Yeah, and the co-star of the show is a hot number named Hedda Romaine.
Wow.
Word on the show has it that she had an affair with Silas Saltmarsh, the murdered sound effects fella.
Good work, Sluggo. Actress Hedda Romaine looked like a suspect, so I made a visit to her dressing room, where sure enough, I found Romaine dressing.
Just 2 minutes to broadcast time, Miss Romaine.
Miss Romaine, I'm Rick St. Bernard, private investigator.
Won't you come into my dressing room and help me zip up?
But you're a radio actress. Why the costume? Why the dressing room?
You're too young to remember Mr. St. Bernard, but I was once a famous actress on the stage. I did all of the classics: Hamlet, Romeo, Juliet, Wuthering Heights, The Little Foxes, and I played the kazoo on Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor on the bedpost overnight.
Wow. You've had some career.
And now I'm working on this ho-hum radio drama. But at least I'm still working. Yes, I'm still working. You don't see Joan Crawford working anymore, do you?
The dame's dead.
Oh, dear. And I wondered why she stopped sending Christmas cards.
You know why I'm here?
I assume you've come to see me about the murder of Silas Saltmarsh.
That's right, Miss Romaine. I hear you had a fling with Mr. Saltmarsh, the man who has croaked.
Yes, it's true. I had an affair with the deceased.
What? You had an affair with a dead man? That's sick.
While he was alive, you dote.
Oh, listen, sister. You'd better tell me what happened at the rehearsal.
Well, it was during the gunfight scene that Silas was killed. Felix, the assistant, was shooting the automatic he uses for the gun's sound effects when Silas died. But right after, I saw Orson, my co-star, hide something in his pocket.
Orson Artesian?
Yes, that's right. What do you suppose it was that he so mysteriously placed in his pocket?
I'm the detective, Miss Romaine. I'll ask the questions. You provide the answers, not the questions. I ask all the questions, see? Gee, I wonder what it was that Orson so mysteriously placed in his pocket.
Miss Romaine,
I'm afraid I must go, Mr. St. Bernard.
Well, break a leg, sister, but don't leave town. You're still suspect until we find out who killed the sound effects man.
There's a gold shipment just in at Hills. Landstrom's original Black Hills Gold creations are now at Hills Jewelry. Landstrom's original Black Hills Gold creation carries on a tradition dating back to the old gold rush days of frontier America. And now, Hills Jewelry has a large shipment of America's most unique jewelry. Hills also has a big variety of colorful fashion earrings, regularly $10, now on sale for just $4.95 a pair. Stop in soon. There's gold in them thar Hills. Hills Jewelry in downtown Flora. There's something new at Joetta's Pet Boutique. It's an all-new saltwater tank. Now, Joetta's Pet Boutique is able to stock all kinds of fish, including lionfish, blue damsel, butterfly fish, and lots more that are still arriving. Now, after you visit the new salt tank, mosey over to the adorable puppies. There's Boston Terriers, Maltese, and Yorkie. Plus, Joetta has beautiful Siamese kittens. Just call 662-PETS or stop by for all your pet supplies at the Sign of the Big Fish. Joetta's Pet Boutique on West North Avenue in Flora.
This is your announcer. I have a very mundane role in this radio drama. All I say is, and now let's return to Who Killed the Sound Effects Man.
My assistant, Sluggo, informed me that my client, Felix Passenger, who was the chief suspect in the murder of the sound effects man Silas Saltmarsh, was having a romantic encounter with the waitress in the lounge of the No-Tell Motel. The dame's name was Amphibian, and when she's not waiting at the bar, she works in the local water ballet. I decided to stop in for a bite to eat and drink and ask some questions about Passenger.
Hi, doll. What can I get you?
I'll have something warm and full of rum.
I'm sorry. She's not working tonight.
In that case, I'll have a menu.
There you go, doll.
Seems I left my glasses in the car. Can you read it?
Why, sure, doll.
I mean, can you read it out loud to me?
Oh, why, sure, doll. Welcome to the No-Tell Motel Lounge. Hours, 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sundays, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visa, MasterCard, and American...
Just read me the part about the food. I'm hungry. What have you got to eat?
Well, doll, our specialty is the 7-course Texas dinner.
Sounds good. I'll try it.
Bone jelly and a six-pack, Mac.
You got a name?
Sure do, doll. It's Ann. Amphibian. And how about yourself?
I'm Rick St. Bernard, private investigator.
Oh, a detective. It's so nice you've decided to dine with us.
Yeah.
It's a genuine pleasure to have you break bread at our little abode.
Uh-huh.
It's one of life's pleasures to share our food with a man like you.
Stow it, sister. I come here for a bite to eat and I get earnest angly. I got some questions for you.
I thought you'd never ask. I get off at 10.
Wrong answer. How long have you known Felix Passenger?
Felix? Why? Is he in trouble again?
Again? Felix has been in trouble before?
Oh, yeah. He advertised a riding lawnmower for sale on the Trading Post.
So?
He was asking more than $150 for it.
I see.
Oh, here's your chili.
Thanks.
What's Felix done now?
He's the prime suspect in the murder of Silas Saltmarsh, the sound effects man on the Frontier Chiropractor.
Felix, a murderer? No way. He didn't like Silas Saltmarsh, but he'd never kill him.
This chili's good. The beans are especially tasty.
Well, you see, we cook our beans backwards. That way you only hiccup.
What do you know about Missy Ewall, the gal Felix was engaged to marry?
I know she's getting married to Ashley Cinders, her daddy's ranch foreman.
They're getting hitched?
Yeah, doll. In fact, the wedding begins in about an hour.
Thanks, kid. What do I owe you?
$1.95.
Here's $2. Keep the change. Missy Ewall was another prime suspect. Silas Saltmarsh had broken her heart. Perhaps in her anger and pain, she pulled the trigger that killed him. Love is a many-splintered thing. I drove over to the Polyester Tabernacle where TV evangelist Reverend Al was to perform the nuptials. I walked into the church and found I was the only one there, until the Reverend appeared.
Hallelujah! Another lamb has come to the fold, another voice in heaven's choir. What is it, my child? You look troubled.
Well, Padre, I was just thinking. It's been a long time since I stepped foot in a church. I got an urge to do something religious.
That's nice. Why don't you?
I think I will. Under the I, 19. Under the G, 74.
Bingo!
Wait a minute. Why is the church empty? Isn't this where Miss Ewall and Ashley Cinders are supposed to tie the knot today?
The knot's not to be. Miss Ewall called off her wedding.
What about her fiancé?
Ashley Cinders, it really burned him up.
What was the reason for the breakup?
Miss Ewall said she didn't carry a torch for Cinders. Said she was still in love with Silas Saltmarsh.
How do you know this, Father?
She broke down and told me.
In confession?
In a drunken stupor.
Thanks, Padre. See you in church sometime.
Better yet, catch me on Channel 14, Sunday nights at 9, and give till it hurts.
Well, so much for Missy Ewall. If she still loved Silas Saltmarsh, she wouldn't want to see him dead. So I erased her name from the suspect list. But I still didn't know who killed the sound effects man.
At Hallmark, buy 3 Noritake, Fiestaware, or false graph play settings, and we'll give you a 4th play setting free. The offer has been extended at the Hallmark Boutique. And come out this Saturday to a taste of Clay County and see our play settings booth at the RLDS Church. And now at Hallmark, buy 3 Noritake, Fiestaware, or false graph play settings and get a 4th free. And Hallmark will be open Monday nights till 8 with lots of in-store specials from 5 till 8 only. The Hallmark Boutique, downtown. Are your old appliances making weird sound effects? Maybe it's because it's Halloween. Or maybe it's just age. It's time to see Joe at Itchison Appliance downtown about replacing those old relics. At Itchison's, you'll find Frigidaire appliances that sound like this. Their quiet operation is a joy to behold, not to mention the quality put into each one. Replace those old, noisy appliances with new, quiet Frigidaire home appliances from Itchison Appliance downtown. It's chili weather, and Save-A-Lot has all the chili makings. Brooks chili beans, just $1.29 a can. Wildwood tomato juice, only 69 cents. Save all the Ralston saltine crackers for 49 cents. Panner, creamy or crunchy peanut butter, $1.49. Save-A-Lot has skinless smoked sausage for $3.99. Hot dog buns for $79. Instant hot cocoa mix, 89 cents, or sugar-free for $1.09. Don't spend a lot, save a lot. At your Flora Save-A-Lot food store.
And now, for the lack of anything better to do, we return to Who Killed the Sound Effects Man?
I was back in my office. I had 2 questions that had no answer. First, who killed Silas Saltmarsh? Second, why doesn't toilet paper ever tear on the perforations? I was working on a case when there was a knock on the door. Who's there?
Osborne.
Osborne who?
Osborne Free.
It was R. Sweeney Osborne, the director of the radio show Silas Saltmarsh and my client Felix Passenger worked on. Perhaps he had a clue in the murder of the sound effects man. What do you want, Osborne?
Good to see you, Mr. St. Bernard, and I mean G-O-O-D.
Yeah.
You are going to love what I have to tell you, and I mean L-O-V-E.
Okay.
I believe I know who killed Silas Saltmarsh, and I mean K-I-L-L-E-D.
Well, looks like I better sit down. Sounds like we're going to be here a spell.
I think the killer is the same man who sucks the cream out of Twinkies so he can fill them back up with ketchup, and that's sick. And I mean S-I-C-K.
Does this sicko have a moniker?
No, I think he drives a Pinto.
Name. Does he have a name?
He's the star of Frontier Chiropractor, the one and only Orson Artesian.
Osborne made me realize that the true murderer had to be someone on the show, at the rehearsal. So I drove over to the studio and arrived just as the Frontier Chiropractor was leaving the air. I decided to confront Orson Artesian and question him about his relationship with one Silas Saltmarsh. Look, Artesian, I hear you hated the man.
I despised him. The little worm was taking acting lessons on the side, and he swore that he would someday replace me, the great Orson Artesian.
So Saltmarsh was not just a sound effects man, but also a perspiring actor.
Yes, he was always cornering our director to give his dramatic reading of the Gettysburg Address.
Just because a man imitates Abraham Lincoln is no reason to shoot him. Was that your only beef with the stiff?
No. That man constantly made jokes about my size.
Yeah.
Hey, Orson, he would say, I hear you had to have your dressing room let out.
That wasn't nice, was it?
Or, hey, Orson, I understand they want you to play the title character in the Broadway play, The Gazebo.
Shameless.
Or is it true you use a hula hoop for a belt?
Look, Artesian, enough of the fat jokes. I was talking to Hedda Romaine, and she says that she saw you hide something in your pocket after the shooting.
Yes, well, you see, I have you might call it a condition that requires me to eat on a regular basis.
Yeah, that condition is called fat.
As you will, Mr. St. Bernard. After the shooting, I stole Silas Saltmarsh's lunch bag and hid it in a pocket. After all, he wouldn't need it.
Quick thinking.
I would say doing tonight's show without Silas was a pure pleasure. Well, if you listen to tonight's performance and compare it to the recording of the rehearsal, you could never tell that Felix Passenger was the man behind the sounds.
Wait, you say you have a recording of the rehearsal? The rehearsal where Silas bit the big one?
Well, yes. I have it right here.
Play back the part where the shooting occurred.
It should be right about here.
If you refuse to pay the bill, I'm forced to... Good heavens, Silas has been shot. And he hasn't even touched his lunch.
And that's when...
Yes, that's when I took the lunch bag and put it in my pocket.
No, I mean that's when Silas slumped.
Yes, just as well. His lunch was just a couple of boiled eggs and a pickle loaf on rye.
It was at that moment that I realized that Orson Artesian would eat anything that wouldn't bite first. But I still didn't know who killed the sound effects man.
The parade has been held over. The Fashion Hanger's Parade of Savings sale has been extended until Saturday. That means you can still march in and save 20% off all regular price merchandise until this Saturday. Lay away for Christmas and still save 20%. And here's more big news. The Fashion Hanger will be open Monday nights till 8 beginning this Monday, giving you more convenient time to shop. Hurry while the Parade of Savings is still on. 20% off all regular price merchandise through Saturday at the Fashion Hanger downtown. Hey, come to Trevor's Place. Trevor's is starting something new. Beginning October 25th, it's the Friday night special at Trevor's Place. All you can eat fish, french fries, and coleslaw for just $4.99. Come anytime and enjoy homemade pies and daily specials. And remember, beginning October 25th, it's the Friday night all you can eat special for just $4.99. Trevor's Place, open Monday through Saturday, 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sundays 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Trevor's Place in Clay City.
And now we return to Who Killed the Sounds Effect Man?
After my chat with Orson Artesian, I was back sitting in my cheesy office, watching the neon sign outside my fly-specked window flash on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. I was just starting to detect a pattern when all of a sudden, a big, good-looking lug kicked the door open in a trench coat. I was surprised. I ain't never seen a door in a trench coat before. It was my client, Felix Passenger, carrying a large paper bag. He says to me,
Rick, I'm in trouble.
I know. You're the main suspect in the Silas Saltmarsh murder caper.
Oh, worse than that. The Fat Man is after me.
The Fat Man?
The Fat Man.
Oh, the Fat Man. Who is this sleazy character and what does he want?
I don't know who he is, but he's been calling me on the phone. He wants this statue.
Statue?
Yeah. It's a statue of an ebony lamb named Bubba.
You mean?
Yes, it's the famous Bubba Black Sheep.
Wow.
It's my prized possession, given to me by Silas Saltmarsh.
A problem like this is like taking a mouthful of scalding hot coffee. No matter what you do next, it's wrong. We were looking at the statue when the office door was kicked open again. Doesn't anybody knock anymore? The light in the hall was bad. I couldn't tell who it was until he said,
I'm the Fat Man.
It was the Fat Man indeed, Orson Artesian, and he was holding a heater. I said, What do you want, Orson?
I come for the statue. It was mine till Silas Saltmarsh won it from me playing Go Fish during a rehearsal break 7 years ago. I want it back.
You ain't getting it, see? We ain't giving it to you. There ain't nothing you could do to make us give it up.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to start shooting.
When the Fat Man pointed the gun at me, he cocked the trigger. A sneer was on my face. I looked at him right in the eye and said, You want me to wrap it up? I've got some very nice paper here. Felix, why don't you run out and get us some nice ribbon?
Orson, you overbloated blimp of blubber. I'm not giving you this lamb.
So here we were, the four of us in my chintzy office. Felix Passenger, Orson Artesian, me, and the fourth member of this little dance party, Orson's pistol. And I didn't like the tune it was playing. It looked like I was going to be the next hit, number one with a bullet. Will Orson get the statue, or will it be a bust? Just then, Felix said,
Oh, all right, Orson. If it means that much to you, take the statue.
What's that?
The Black Sheep Bubba.
Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted them things that rings, and you pick it up and say, statue?
After that crummy joke, I see the show is quickly running out of steam. So when we come back, we'll find out for sure who killed the sound effects man.
Big John's means big savings. Right now at your Flora Big John Superstore. Save on 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, just 79 cents. 79 cents, but please limit 3 at this low price. Big John's has the 10-pound bag of russet potatoes for 99 cents. Beef round steak in Big John's meat department, now $1.69 a pound. In Big John's Bakery, save on Angel Food Cakes, just $1.99. Big John's, big savings. Your Flora Big John Superstore on East North Avenue. There's a gold shipment just in at Hills. Landstrom's original Black Hills Gold creations are now at Hills Jewelry. Landstrom's original Black Hills Gold creation carries on a tradition dating back to the old gold rush days of frontier America. And now, Hills Jewelry has a large shipment of America's most unique jewelry. Hills also has a big variety of colorful fashion earrings, regularly $10, now on sale for just $4.95 a pair. Stop in soon. There's gold in them thar Hills. Hills Jewelry in downtown Flora. There's something new at Joetta's Pet Boutique. It's an all-new saltwater tank. Now, Joetta's Pet Boutique is able to stock all kinds of fish, including lionfish, blue damsel, butterfly fish, and lots more that are still arriving. Now, after you visit the new salt tank, mosey over to the adorable puppies. There's Boston Terriers, Maltese, and Yorkie. Plus, Joetta has beautiful Siamese kittens. Just call 662-PETS or stop by for all your pet supplies at the Sign of the Big Fish. Joetta's Pet Boutique on West North Avenue in Flora.
Finally, for the last time tonight, I have to say those immortal words, and now let's return to Who Killed the Sound Effects Man.
A gumshoe learns 2 things: that murder ain't pretty, and 10-foot poles are safe when kept in a pole vault. My latest caper was almost sewn up. I knew who murdered Silas Saltmarsh, the head sound effects man at the radio network. All the suspects were in the studio where it happened. There was my client, Felix Passenger. His motive? Saltmarsh stole his method for making the sound of storms. There was Orson Artesian. Motive? The dead man made vicious fat jokes about him. Then there was Hedda Romaine. Probably a real good-looking dame in her salad days. Her motive? A broken romance with the croquis. All right, listen up, everybody.
Yeah.
I have all the proof I need to nail Saltmarsh's murderer.
What kind of proof?
It's all based on sound deduction, Felix. You told me you use a revolver to make the gun sounds on the show.
That's right.
Who did it, Mr. St. Bernard? Felix uses an automatic.
Wrong. See? This is the revolver I use.
Oh, no, it's...
Calm down, Miss Romaine. I know which one of you is right. Play the record. There was my proof. There was 7 gunshots. A revolver only has 6 bullets. That proves you shot Silas Saltmarsh, Felix.
Good work, Mr. St. Bernard, but you forgot one thing.
Yeah?
This gun is loaded with real bullets.
Oh, dear.
Don't point it at me.
Just like the ones I shot Saltmarsh with.
Give it here, kid.
St. Bernard took the gun from Felix.
Oh, that was a very brave thing to do, Mr. St. Bernard.
Not really. I had my pal Sluggo sneak in here and load the gun with blanks.
Well, what was Felix's motive?
Well, it was simple, Miss Romaine. Silas Saltmarsh was shot because he stole Felix Thunder. Another case closed.
Oh, hiya, boss.
Sluggo.
What was it you wanted me to do with these blanks?
Oh, gosh.
Well, now we know Who Killed the Sound Effects Man. Our thanks to those who did participate, gave of their time and their talents to make tonight's show possible. We hope you enjoyed it. Who Killed the Sound Effects Man? And that's going to do it. On behalf of the Clay County Radio Players, I'm Bill Oliver. Good night.